metal faithful. It is I, your mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich, and this is the Metal Hammer of Doom. Tonight, we are reviewing of Kingdom and Crown by Machine Head. Did I already say my name? I'm so tired. Jesse, did I say my name yet?
You didn't know.
That's Mark Radulich, just in case he didn't say his name.
Okay.
He's the mandated reporter, and frankly, he's mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Of Kingdom and Crown is the 10th studio album by American heavy metal band Machine Head. It was released on August 26, 2022 through Nuclear Blast and Imperium Recordings. It's the band's first album to feature guitarist Wacław Kiełtyka, who joined the band in late 2019. Matt Alston, who joined the band at the same time, does not play on the album. Instead, drum duties are handled by Navene Koperweis, who acted as a session drummer for the album. The band's first concept album of Kingdom and Crown is set in futuristic wasteland. Oh, Jesse, you must love this. It revolves around two characters, Ares and Eros, who both go on their own respective killing sprees following the death of their loved ones. You know, the way my life has gone as of late, it would be a killing spree of my loved ones, not because...
Oh, no.
Oh, God. First the farm animals, now this. I would like to, as his legal representation, like to say that he definitely did not mean anybody in his immediate family.
No, definitely not my wife. Anyway, of Kingdom and Crown was positively received by critics, who many commented on it as a return to form for the band, as well as praising the album's diversity and the band's interplay and musicianship, which was described as heavier and more technical than previous efforts. All right, and first, witness for the defense, Jesse Starcher. How do you do, sir?
Mark Radulich is Machine Head, baby. We're back. We're going to be talking another Machine Head album. I can't wait.
Goddamn right. Let's freedom ring with a shotgun blast, baby.
Oh, it's good stuff. Davidian,
Yes.
baby.
Yes, sir. And over there is my defense attorney, the metal coup of Robert Cooper. How do you do, Esquire?
As long as I'm not that one movie that I wish I could have watched with Denzel Washington. Wasn't it? I don't remember. Damn it. I lost the bit.
We are all off our
Denzel
game
Washington.
tonight, man.
I'm like going through the list of Denzel Washington movies in my head.
It's
I'm not gonna lie. The whole problem here is as we go and we've been doing these Metal Hammer of Dooms and they get longer and longer and longer. Like we've already done a podcast for tonight. We're done. By the time we get to like the actual podcast, everyone's fucking fried. We're like, oh my god, we still have another hour of this.
Oh yeah, it was Roman J. Israel Esquire. Came out in 2017.
Didn't he like
That's
molest
the
children?
name of a movie?
Or am I thinking of Roman Polanski?
You're definitely thinking of Roman Polanski.
Okay, great. Glad we got that settled.
Roman J. Polanski, Esquire. Row.
And I'm Ted S. Preston.
And Theodore Logan?
Theodore Logan.
Jesse, how
Spock
much?
the Rock.
So
Duck.
So I became familiar with Machine Head through their song Davidian, Let Freedom Ring with a Shotgun Blast. I think the next album was like The Burning Red, and it was less good than the first one. And then after that, I kind of lost track of Machine Head for a while. This new one's really good, though. I'm glad we're doing this. I really like this album. How much Machine Head are you familiar with, Jesse?
Ooh, not a whole lot. I recognize this. Obviously, the hits that you just kind of went through there, Davidian being one of them. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody out there? That's another
Anybody
one.
listening to me?
It's really good.
I have had a year, and I play that song a lot.
So, one of the things that I've never done is go back into their back catalog and listen to a lot of what came before their previous album, Catharsis. Mm-hmm. And I learned something, and I know we got to bring on Coop and talk to him here in a second, but I can tell you that I learned something over a lot of the reviews that I've watched and read, getting prepared for this review tonight, and that's the fact that apparently me liking Catharsis is in the extreme minority.
Really?
Like everybody else hated Catharsis, it seemed like. So... yeah, you know, I'll probably come back to that as we talk the album here a little bit, but just to be aware, yeah, I don't know a whole lot of the back catalog. A lot of people were comparing this. Some were trying to say it's the Blackening, but there is definitely others that say it's not as good as the Blackening, which apparently is top tier Machine Head in the past, along with some of the really early stuff. What was the first album? I think you'd mentioned Burn the Eyes. Was that
Burn My Eyes?
Burn My Eyes.
Oh, I'm not supposed to get fire in my eye.
So anyway, but yeah, what are your thoughts on Machine Head, man?
Yes, I mean, Burn My Eyes, Davidian, like, yeah, I flicked my bean to that shit. Even though I did not know the lyrics correctly for the longest time and sang it wrong for a while. It was fantastic.
What did you sing? What did you think it was?
I thought it was Led Through Your Brains with a Shotgun Blast.
Oh my God. Let freedom ring with a shotgun blast. So I'm really trying to up my TikTok game, and I've been doing I've been doing different kinds of content. And one of the things I've been doing is these headbang challenges. But so this guy's done 30 of these so far, and I decided that I was going to go through his entire 30 TikTok series of headbanger challenges.
It's really hard.
And I'm not gonna, and I'm gonna win all of them. I'm not gonna headbang through a single one. Here's the problem with that. Before I even say anything, I'm running out of ways to do it that isn't the same thing over and over and over again. I don't want to just just be me.
Just stare at the phone the whole time.
It's just looking rather lackadaisical, just kind of disinterested. I did one. I did one while eating lunch. I did one after I got a haircut. I did one. Just to start off with, before I got a haircut. And then I was I got to start doing these with other people. So, I've had my wife do one. I had my kids do one. I had a couple of coworkers do it. I'm running out of, people. I haven't done one in a little bit because, I got all, the easy ones to do. I'm wondering if there's a way we can actually do it on the Metal Hammer of Doom extra ones. Play the TikTok in the StreamYard and it'll just all not headbang. I think it'd be funny. But my point is that the last one that I did with my kids, the guy used Davidian by Machine Head, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs, "Let freedom ring with a shotgun blast!" And my children had to hold me down.
Dad, it's not real. He's not really out there.
You lose.
Is that it? Lose. No one's listening to you.
You lose if you headbang. Then that's how that works, right?
Mm.
Okay. All right.
Yes. If you had, so it's funny because I'll occasionally nod in affirmament, and people will be you lost at the very end. I'm no, I was nodding, not headbanging. People try to get you every time, Jesse. They try to get you.
Them damn TikTokers.
Yeah, I lost on the first fucking song.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, it's hard. The one that was we're doing black metal. I'm you wouldn't do the Black 101, Mark. Let's be honest.
Well, I tell you, this last one started with Slipknot. That one almost got me. The 80s one was also rough. One of the first ones I did was Motley Crue and Twisted Sister and Def Leppard and a bunch of it was just 80s bands I really like. I think Bon Jovi was one of them. I think it was You Give Love a Bad Name. And I'm oh my God, I really did have to control myself. Those were rough. But hey, we got an album to get through, so I think that's enough preamble. Jesse, what do you think?
Hey, let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. You gonna do it? You gonna do it?
I'm gonna do it.
All right.
By the time this is over, it will be done.
All right, everybody. First is Slaughter the Martyr, Choke on the Ashes of Your Hate, and Become the Firestorm. You know, Robert, one of the things that I like the album a lot, but it's a little too overly reliant on the like standard death metal drumming, and I like my drumming to be a little bit more rhythmic. You know?
Yeah, I can see that. I will say, guitar-wise, I definitely hear lots of interesting things. Not gonna lie, first track there, I was like, reminds me of POD.
They're coming around. They're playing with Ginger.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to see them in December.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Booyaka, booyaka, 619.
Oh, yeah, that was them, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I feel so alive for the very first time. Just can't deny you.
Because I'm so wide.
Anyway, your thoughts on Machine Head?
I mean, yeah, this definitely this suite of songs. You're looking at just kind of some more of your thrashier influences. Definitely that last track. Guitar-wise, I definitely felt a little black metal influence.
Yes.
Just which was totally
down. If you
down
like
for.
that sort of thing, is one thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I'm a man of great taste.
Please allow him to introduce himself. He's a man.
Of great taste.
Of great taste. How many other songs can we sing during this whole fucking review?
I'm sure you could show us.
I got
Show
you.
me on the doll.
I got you covered, baby. But I liked, as long as it is, it's a little over 10 minutes long. I like Slaughter the Martyr. That had a good rhythm to it. Choke on the Ashes of Your Hate and Become the Firestorm. They're both good, but like I said, Jesse, I don't particularly like the... Not that I don't like it, I prefer my drumming to be more rhythmic and less of that, like, constant, you know? And so, this album tends to be a little overly reliant on it, which I think this is one of those things where, like, if you're into death and black metal, you're going to love this album. Because it's the best parts of that genre, plus, like, standard Machine Head fare. If you're not into it, you might struggle with this one.
Yeah, I'm not having any problem with it. I'll tell you that much. I think these first three songs are really great. Slaughter the Martyr, boy, does that take a while to get going.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does.
Wow, but it is good when it gets started. So, I remember hearing "Choke on the Ashes of Your Hate." I believe that was a single released prior to this album, and I dug it. Become the Firestorm is different. One of the things you can say about Machine Head is, like, they don't stick with just one sound in a song.
Mm-hmm.
The styles of the song will change as you listen to the songs, and that's on full display here. Machine Head is just being Machine Head, in my opinion, which is fine. There's also
just being all machine heady about it.
Sometimes Machine Head gonna Machine Head, am I right?
They're going to do it.
Yes.
They are going to do it. There's an awesome solo in Become the Firestorm. Once when you get, I think, closer to the end, there's some really, really great song that make it out. But there's also some stuff like the vocals are a little bit different. Like what we heard there, there's some very, very clean singing going. It's not what I'm used to with Machine Head. I know they've done it, but it's just that didn't gel right with that song for some reason. But I mean, hey, these first three tracks are a great way to bring us into this album.
All right, Coop, you have any more thoughts on this? The first three tracks.
No, I think I'm good.
All right, let's go ahead and move to the next three tracks here. We've got My Hands Are Empty, which we did the Metal Hammer Room Extra on, Unhallowed, and Kill Thy Enemies. Kill thy enemies. Yes, sir. All right. Jesse, when we come back from the next break, we'll have 4 tracks left, and then we're done because we're not playing all of the interstitials and whatnot. So we need to know what the Angry Metal Guy thinks about all this. And I do know that the Angry Metal Guy has thoughts.
Yeah, he does. You want that now or you want that after this?
Do you have it now?
Oh, I have it now.
Jesse, what does the Angry Metal Guy think about all this?
Well, I can tell you that this did make the cut when it comes to the reviews by the Angry Metal Guy. And we'll just talk about that here in a second. But from around the internet, let's take a look, see where else this thing has landed. So Sputnik Music gave this a 2.9 out of 5. Loudersound.com dropped it. Dropped a review at 3.5 out of 5. Then get this. rockandloadmag.com gives this a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Right. I'm going to just go ahead and say that I don't think this album's perfect. And if you're going to give an album a 10 out of 10, I want to see what else.
That seems excessive.
Right. I want to see what else has got 10 out of 10 on their lists.
Yeah.
Anyway, metalinjection.net, they also gave it a pretty high ranking, a 9 out of 10. Kerrang gave it a 4 out of 5. Metalhammer DE. These are the guys that kind of have a weird rating. 5.5 out of 7. And then Rate Your Music, I believe that's an aggregate there, 3.18 out of 5. So let's see what the Angry Metal Guy has to say. I'll lead with the paragraph, the final paragraph that they put on here, and then I'll give you the rating. Mm-hmm. So here we go. And without a lot of variety, the album is rather one-dimensional, which will make its hour-long runtime difficult for many listeners. That said, it's a step up from the disastrous Catharsis. Remember, I said I was in the minority of those that like that, and trust me, yeah, a lot of people hated that album for some reason. And I can at least get through the whole thing without much trouble. Of Kingdom and Crown is no resurrection of the old or even return to the blackening, but it's all we can hope for now. Rating, 2.5 out of 5. So there you go. There are thoughts from the Angry Metal Guy and from also other spots around the internet.
Very good, Jesse Starcher. What did you think of those last 3 songs?
There was one in there. Okay, my favorite one, I think, off of this album is Unhallowed.
Okay.
There's a bit of sing-songy stuff going on in that, but I also enjoy the stuff that surrounds it, which it sounded like from the other reviews that I've been looking at that wasn't a favorite. I'm starting to wonder if I like bad Machine Head.
As a general rule.
I like all their shitty stuff, and everybody else hates it, and then flip it around to see. I haven't really dove into the other stuff that people love. So I'm starting to think that there's either a possibility I like bad Machine Head, or I just haven't had my mind blown by some of the other stuff that they've done. But anyway, the one that I didn't really like, and I believe is one of the weaker songs off this album, and trust me, I've got something to say about one that's coming up. But Kill Thy Enemies it's okay, but I'm not coming back to that song. It's not going on repeat for me. My Hands Are Empty reminded me of some Killswitch Engage at some point.
Yeah, very much so.
To that. Yeah. But there you go. There's my thoughts.
All right, step up to the plate, Robert Cooper, and hit yourself a single.
I did not do a whole lot of that when I played baseball, let me tell you.
Did you even make contact?
Yeah, no, I never made contact.
Well, you're like 8 feet tall. It's probably hard to get down to where the ball was being thrown.
I just remembered something from our last conversation that we had. Robert Cooper is the int of the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. How's that? The int from that's the big trees, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right, making sure.
Okay,
all right.
Great.
I want to make sure I got my reference.
Because I am no tree, as has been stated already.
I am no tree.
Tree.
I am no tree.
Such a good movie. I really need to read the books, but they're very... Oh, boy, I can tell when they're written. They're very dry.
Well, he had a lot to say in a time that he said it.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those that's masterfully written. The man created a fucking language for fun.
Yes. Well, he was a linguist, and it was World War One.
Was he a cunning linguist?
Cunning?
I know what Mark's doing this weekend.
We'll see.
He's speaking fluently.
I will definitely attempt to engage in conversation and intercourse.
Oh,
just not at the barnyard, please.
No. There's no barnyards in my immediate future that I'm aware of.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But yeah, this slate of songs, solid enough. I don't know if I necessarily agree with this album being a 10 out of 10. Like, it's
I would
definitely
not
one
call
that,
this a 10 out of 10.
There's no way.
I would not. I mean, maybe I'm just missing. Am I just missing something?
Yeah, you're not like fucking overblowing it the way the reviewers are. Like, I don't know. Just doing this for as many years as we have, and thinking about like when we've looked at critical reviews of previous albums, there seems to be a lot of like favoritism of being in the box. Like if you're very much in the box of what is considered to be acceptable heavy metal by the intelligentsia, you'll get a good review. If you're weird and like out of the box, you might get, depending on like what hoity-toity reviewer is looking at your stuff, or it's going to be like, this is too weird. This is not the kind of metal I was looking for, and therefore it's bad. That's the kind of other reviews you get, which really annoys me. Because I think we've gone out of our way to be like, this isn't really for me, but I can recognize the superior musicianship and grade it accordingly. Whereas a lot of people, their concept of a review is, I didn't like it, therefore it's bad. And those people I want to throw gasoline on and set on fire.
A 10 out of 10 album has to be... a 10 out of 10 album has to be flawless.
Yeah.
I mean,
Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. That's a flawless album.
Every track has to be something that you like.
Yes.
Like and those tracks also can't have, if they do have something, it's very, very minimal.
I don't even think you have to like it necessarily, but it has to be distinct, original, superior composition. Like there's a lot that I think goes into like the perfect album. Like there's albums that you can just like the whole thing, but again, a critical analysis of something is not personal opinion necessarily.
Right.
And I honestly think that the people going 10 out of 10, it's like, this is just what they like. So therefore, it's the best. Which, again, is everything wrong with criticism.
Well, here's the paragraph, because I grabbed the paragraph from this 10 out of 10, and I'll read it real quick just to kind of see if we can justify what they're saying here.
We can't, but go ahead.
This is 13 tracks of pure metal that get better and better with each listen. Usually on an album, there will always be one or two that will miss, but that is not the case here. From the mellow openings of Slaughter the Martyr, to the closing refrains of Eros and the words from the sky. You will be mesmerized by the band's ability to go from 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye. I mean, 13 tracks of pure metal that get better and better.
Yeah.
I don't quite know if this album is one that I would really describe in that fashion. I mean, there's definitely like some bangers on here.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't necessarily know if like each song tops the last. There's definitely
I said, I think there's enough differentiation here to keep it interesting, but I would not go out of my way to be like, this is the best thing ever. I think it's solid. I think it's good. But I think it's getting favorited because the people who write metal reviews all kind of like the same stuff.
fair enough.
By the way, The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead, since we've crossed the midnight mark, has dropped on Spotify.
Oh, great.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
They fly over.
Wrong band. I will listen to it on my way to Toyota tomorrow to get my car a much-needed oil change. It's been yelling at me for the past week.
It's doing the exact same thing tomorrow. I'll be taking my car to get an oil change.
Are you really? Can we go together and be gay about it?
Yeah, let's FaceTime each other the whole time we're in there.
Okay. I'm going to also watch Upload. Can I FaceTime myself while watching Upload to you?
And I will watch it with you on
Perfect.
my phone, and we'll record ourselves on TikTok giving a react.
Perfect.
What is Upload?
It's
Amazon.
Yeah, it's a show on Amazon that I promised to review before I was forced into having a social life against my will. I had promised Alexis we were going to do season 2, and then like shit changed, and then I like delayed it at least twice.
Delayed.
Yeah, we were supposed to do it in the spring. I kicked it into September because that was the first available spot for it. Especially once I reduced my schedule down to 2 days a week. Though I'll tell you, I keep saying that. There was a couple of weeks in I think October and November where I'm doing like 3 and 4 shows back again, just because I got to get extra stuff in, or I was asked to do something and I was like, yeah, that seems fine. But I'll tell you, the other side of it is, I can talk a little bit about this. Initially, when a lot of that stuff was going on, like my wife was going out a lot. She was going out almost every night of the week, and I was like, well, she's going to go out, then I'm going to go out, except that I fucking can't because I'm always doing podcasts. And then I started making friends, and those friends are like, are you busy? And I'm like, oh, God, I'm always doing a podcast. So I was like, that's it. No more podcasts. I'm not talking to nobody no more. And then it's like, as soon as I did that, that particular friend was like, yeah, you don't need to come over as much. I'm like, ugh. And my wife's like, yeah, I'm not going out as much. Okay, I'm just going to eat a fucking gun. Like, what the hell, people? You know who will always, though, give me a spot on his show? Like, if I'm just dying to podcast almost any night of the week, I could just call Jeff Sloboda.
Oh, Jeff would, no problem at all, man.
No problem.
No matter what
it's
is
like he has
going
no
on.
limit. I think his guest limit is whatever the limitation of fucking
Yeah.
StreamYard is.
He will have up to
how
8
many
people
people
because
can he
that's
fit
what
on the
StreamYard
bandwidth?
will allow. If he could have like the fucking Congress from Star Wars, he would. Ladies and gentlemen, here to talk about Black Panther, the Galactic Senate.
Oh man. Oh jeez.
Our democracy dies with thunderous applause.
No, I love Jeff. And Jeff is always like, "Can you come on tonight?" And he just always gets me at a bad time. I've been busy and I have stuff coming up. I still do in fact have a social life. I'm more just kind of lamenting when I was really needing to reduce my schedule. I had so much stuff and I didn't want to just cut everything all at once. I had promised people to do things. I promised Alexis we would talk Upload. And so I don't want to break those promises. But it's so by the time I finally got to a place where everything neatly fit into 2 days and I didn't feel like I was robbing people of things I'd promised them, my life changed yet again. I can't fucking win, dude. I just can't. So now that I'm done
hear you.
Lamenting my social life. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
No clue.
Jesse. You don't even know what I'm talking about. You know why I know you don't know what I'm talking about?
How?
Because you just fucking walk around your neighborhood.
I do too. That's all I do, man. I have to get in my car and drive to get that oil change tomorrow. I don't even know if I remember how to drive.
Just get your wife to drive you. Like, hey,
Just
like
make sure you change your blinker fluid.
Oh yeah, please give me a refill immediately.
Hey, we got a comment here from the last Metal Hammer of Doom Extra. So if you wish to react to something you might not have heard of, I would say the artist Aesthetic Perfection with the song "Gods in Gold." You know that one, Cooper?
Never heard of them.
Terrific. All right, I'm here.
What is it?
Fuck, I just got off of there. God damn it.
Aesthetic Perfection.
Aesthetic Perfection.
Aesthetic. I'm going to look see if they're on Spotify.
Okay. Cooper, you got anything else about the previous 3 songs? Otherwise, we're going to move on to the last 4.
No, I'm good.
All right. Let's get this show on the road then. Last 4 songs of the night.
Singer?
No Gods, No Masters, Bloodshot, Rotten, and
weird, dude.
Arrows and Words from the Sky.
Anxiety attack. My heart is racing and my throat's constricting. With every cut it scream. My skin it palpitates. Laying awake, I feel the terror grip me. This nightmare never ends. So for my demons, weather the bends. Drowning in misery and negativity. One choice of the downtrodden, anthem through the misbegotten. Everything is rotten to the core.
All right, well, that wraps up our review of Machine Head of Kingdom and Crown. I'm going to go B+. I'm getting a little harsher in my grading, just because like it really has to like be phenomenal, I think, to be in the A category. And when it's just, it's good, it's solid. I don't have really problems with it, but it didn't wow me. I got to go B+. You know what I mean, Jesse?
Right. There's too many things that I personally just kind of standoffish about with this album. Not saying that there's a majority of that, but I can tell you that there's enough of it for me to go, this is absolutely not a 10 out of 10. But yeah, and as far as I would rather listen to Catharsis, as of right now, I would rather listen to Catharsis than this album. This might be a grower, not a shower.
Fucking the Machine Head fans are coming for you.
Right, yeah, they've got me on their list, trust me. And apparently it's probably a short list from what I understand, because everybody hates that album. But I like it. I tend to like, it wasn't a perfect album either, but there was a lot of songs on there that I really, really enjoyed. So on this one, I would say there's a small handful, like 4 or 5, that I would probably say, okay, yeah, I'd listen to these again. The other ones, most likely they're solid songs. I just don't feel like there's something that has a lot of repeatability there. So, but as far as Machine Head goes, it's good to see them back. It's good to see them dropping an album like this. I will say that the signature Machine Head guitar whine that you usually hear, finally, I didn't notice it in the rest of the album until Rotten hit, and that's the 11th song. They have that weird, I don't know what they do with the guitar, but you can hear it in a lot of their albums. But it seemed absent up until that point. I'll have to go back and listen to the album again, see if I missed it anywhere else. But yeah, and I mean, if you you're never going to forget after you listen to this album that there is definitely a song on here called Bloodshot, because that gets repeated.
Yeah, that totally reminded me of like Soulfly. We
take the lyrics and throw this into the word counter, and like it'll come up, 10% of the words are bloodshot.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what happens on this whole album. It just gets repeated over and over. But anyway, hey, decent album. Cooper, what do you think, man?
I mean, I definitely feel that this album has a lot going for it. I do really like what they're bringing to the table overall. I think it is their first album without Phil Demmel either. I think grading-wise, I would give this one, I think I would give it a solid 8 out of 10, if not a 9, because I really appreciate the ambition. I know they've not done a concept album, and golly gee, I could just appreciate a good concept album sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't following the story, and you mentioned some stuff there offline when we were chatting, Coop. What's this based off of again?
Allegedly, it's inspired by Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Because during the pandemic, his teenage kids got into Attack on Titan, which is funny because Rob Flynn was talking about how it's like, yeah, I was really into anime in like the 90s. And then he said he became a giant metal nerd after, so he kind of fell off of it, but definitely loved him some Akira.
Nice.
Which can see that, definitely. Which is still an anime classic that Jesse needs to watch.
Oh.
It was animated in the late 80s, and it still fucking holds up. It still looks fan-fucking-tastic. It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I can appreciate what they're doing with this album. It's definitely diverse, really different from a lot of the other stuff I've heard of theirs. I admit I've not listened to Catharsis. Might be for the best. Kind of depends on who you ask. But, I mean, I love The Blackening. Fucking love Burn My Eyes. Like, they've got some good shit. So, I think this one really kind of holds up to their discography, and yeah, solid 8 out of 10.
All right, next week we've got a review of Megadeth, The Sick, The Dead, and The Dying. We'll have a review of Upload. We've got a Metal Hammer of Doom up right now for Night Stalkers featuring Ice-T. The following week, we'll take a week off. Jesse and I are going to review The Wire, but then we're back on a special Monday edition because I will be out with my wife on our usual Thursday for her birthday. So we'll be reviewing the new Clutch album on the 19th, and then we're back. We're skipping a week entirely. I'm doing a Damn You Hollywood for the Munsters, and then I promised David Wright we would do Star Trek Discovery, so that's in the usual Metal Hammer of Doom spot. And that'll be on the 29th. So we've got Megadeth coming up next, then Clutch, and that takes us into October, where we will be reviewing. We'll be starting actually the Whiskey Rebellion, which will be us plus a fourth chair. Who, I think we're gonna get Jeff for the first one, and then we'll see what happens after that. And then the next Metal Hammer of Doom, and I think the very last one that we're doing, actually, yeah, so we only got a few more of these left. We've got Slipknot. I believe is the last one. The End so far, fucking fitting. And then
yeah, really.
And then the day before Halloween, October 30th, is a Sunday. We'll be starting the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra, which is basically the Metal Hammer of Doom. The Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox, which is basically the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra, only we won't be doing any more album reviews. We'll look at a couple of videos and shoot the shit like we've been doing. So, what do you think about that, Jesse?
I am excited. I can't wait.
What about you, Robert?
It makes me moist.
All right. Those are my plugs. Jesse, go ahead and plug your shit.
All right. Well, hey. You can hop on to the W2M network, find the Source Material Comics feed. We have a couple episodes here that dropped recently. Unspoken Issues did an episode on Ghost Rider 2099. That dropped back on the 23rd of August. Yeah, you can hear us talk about Ghost Rider in the year 2099. Do you think it's the same old vengeance-seeking Ghost Rider? Well, you would be wrong. It's cyberpunk, Terminator-esque Ghost Rider. It gets pretty crazy, but it's a really good first 8 issues. So we covered that.
Swear to God, I thought you said Terminator X.
Terminator X.
Terminator.
Yeah, he's got these big dark glasses. It's crazy. But yeah, it was me, Derry Waite, and my good buddy Dean Compton. We're sitting there talking about some Ghost Rider 2099 on the Unspoken Issues podcast. And then, just recently, on the 30th of August, source material dropped with me, Evan Bevins, and Chris Armstrong talking the new Fantastic Four, which took place in Fantastic Four issues 347, 348, and 349. The Fantastic Four are dead, in quotes, and
Long live the Fantastic Four.
Long live the Fantastic Four, which would be Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and the Gray Hulk. So they take over.
Fix it.
That's right, baby. They take over as the Fantastic Four for 3 issues, and it lasted. Well, let's try that again. It resonated for such a very long time that recently they brought them back to do another story, including those guys. So, and then today, as a matter of fact, probably about 15 minutes ago, the new episode that I did, which was a bonus episode, it's about 20 minutes long, of me covering a what if that revolved around that new Fantastic Four that took place. The what if, I think, dropped in 95, if I remember right. So if you like some new Fantastic Four, you should be able to get your fix this week right here on the Source Material Comics podcast, if you can find it there on the W2M network. So, but that's all I have for right now. Oh, wait a second. I better plug, talking about Jeff Sloboda, I was over on the MCU's Bleeding Edge, did guest for the second episode, our discussion on the second episode of She-Hulk. So was the third episode good, Mark? Did you like it?
I really did, actually. I was not wazooey about the first 2 episodes. I think my comment in the chat was like, "This seems like Boston Legal, but for idiots." But
Boston Legal, but written by people who can't do law.
Boston Legal for children. This third episode, I mean, not like it was written with a higher degree of intelligence or anything, but at least it. You know how, like, when you first watch a show, that pilot is always just the weakest shit thing. It's almost a lot of pilots are really cringy, but and a show will start to find its legs like 3-4 episodes in. This one started to find its legs 3 episodes in.
Oh, so, good! I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'll
those
watch
first
that
those first 2 episodes of She-Hulk were a little cringy.
I haven't seen the second episode yet because I've been watching it with my stepdad. That first episode, I was like, she just mansplained anger to the Hulk, which I'm like, bro, I get it. Like, it's hard being a woman, but also fuck off.
So here's my thought on that. Like, and I don't want to be like sucking the critical drinker's dick or anything, but like I do think he makes some valid points about why does everything have to be about hating men. Valid, and the show definitely comes across as like bitchy, angry women, just like this is an opportunity for us to hate on men, just utterly unnecessary. But it's a little less like that in the third episode. Like the third episode is like tolerable, it actually has a good story to it. So, and I'm looking forward to like some actual lawyering in the show. The woman playing She-Hulk, I don't know how sold I am on her just yet. She comes a lot. She's not quite as cunty as Brie Larson, as Captain Marvel.
God, it's weird because I really try to have an open mind, but Brie Larson as like Captain Marvel, I was like, why is she's not very nice.
Yeah, she definitely comes across as twatty, and but I would, and I don't think the woman playing She-Hulk in this one is necessarily nearly as twatty, like not even in the same ballpark, but a little smug, not quite twatty, just a little smug. But I think
definitely not in the same OBGYN's office.
but I think they toned it down in episode 3. Jesse, twatty, smuggy, something else with a Y. What do you think?
I don't know. I guess. I
good, strong opinion, Jess.
Do you want me to step in here and say no? Because I didn't exactly get that from it. Her portrayal.
You don't think she comes across as smug in the first 2 episodes?
No, I mean, look, she's trying to.
Why do you hate men?
She seems like a strong character. We'll just put it that way. She has a strong character,
of course,
strong personality.
She's the lead.
well. Strong character, strong personality as well. Smug, okay, fine. Yeah, I guess you could say that. She's very confident in the fact that I can handle this. I do it all the time. Okay, well, that makes sense. I'm all right with it. Didn't bother me.
Your protagonist should be somewhat fallible, and her biggest. This is now turning into a She-Hulk review. I feel like the biggest obstacle she has is she doesn't really want to be a superhero, and she keeps running away from it. And they're like, no, being a superhero is your only value right now. Okay.
We also have, another 6 episodes to kind of develop that.
Is it 6? I thought they were only going to do 6 episodes. No, that's the Marvel way.
No. It's 10. It's 10 30-minute episodes. So.
Oh, it's 10.
Wow.
Yeah. Hang on.
Wow, they're breaking the mold.
Hang on. Let me double check that.
Well, I just know all the other ones have been 6 episodes, including Obi-Wan. Which
but they've also been an hour long. These are
right.
These are 30. This is like a 30-minute sitcom. So my wife has been watching it, and of course she doesn't read comic books, and she definitely likes stupid comedies or whatever. She's enjoying it. And one of the things she liked about it was she was like, "Oh, I like it when they break the fourth wall." And I'm like, "Yes, that is a staple of the She-Hulk comic."
That is definitely
she do that.
Okay, 9 episodes. So the last episode is October 13th. Yes.
Oh, interesting. I guess it's because when I remember watching Obi-Wan, I was like, "This is supposed to be an hour, but this bitch is only 30 minutes after you cut out the credits."
Yeah. All right. I think are we done here? Can we move this on?
Yeah.
Check out your friend Hannah's podcast that she doesn't do anymore, right?
That's right.
Terrific. All right, folks. Thank you for listening to the Metal Hammer of Doom. That's Jesse Starcher over there. Robert Cooper on the tambourine. I'm Mark Radulich. Be well, be safe, and behave.